Right. Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you guys on this call tonight. Hannah Shanks and I are super excited to share such great information, so many testimonies that we have to share tonight on this single supplement that has literally changed my life. Like, incredibly so. I will share my testimony a little bit later on, but I will share I am Stacey Hartzler. I am a Young Living leader, and I'm joined by my amazing friend, Hannah Shanks. We have been friends for such a long time, and we love learning about essential oils together. There's so many amazing faces on here that I personally know, and I'm so happy to see you on here tonight. There's a lot of faces and names that I don't know, so I'm excited to get to know you tonight. Thank you for spending your evening with us. We know that your time is valuable, so we're going to try to keep this class as short as possible. There is so much information though. And really the biggest thing that we want you to take away is we are all in this together. We're all learning together. And it is important to make small steps and small changes along the way. Don't feel intimidated to make any big, huge leaps, unless that's just your personality and you're just all in. But we really do like small steps, small changes that lead to success long term. So we're all about your health. That's what we care the most about, is your health. And so we hope that you will take some of this information tonight and really consider making some of these changes for you and your home, because it's important and it's worth it. So let's go ahead and get started. What is the number one product that makes the most impact on your mental wellness? Think about that tonight. Is there a single product that you can say that has changed your life or makes you feel better? I know that we talk about Young Living essential oils. Young Living is the company that we talk about and that we represent tonight because it has over 200 essential oils. Essential oils have been a catalyst in my home and in my family. Actually, lavender essential oil is my number one oil to calm my nerves and anxiety. I see Valor. Let's see. We see Valor, Ninja Red, Stress Away. Yeah, go ahead and share below in the chat. What is the single product that you have seen the most change in your life? So when I got started with Young Living essential oils 9 years ago, almost 10, I cannot believe I've been with this company for almost a decade of my life. And I'm so thankful. I mean, we use essential oils day in, day out. There is not a single thing in my home that my husband, my kids, grandmas and grandpas, anybody that are over, if there's a problem, we're like, okay, what essential oil can fix it? Because truly, essential oils have just changed our life so much. In addition to essential oils, we've started learning more about nutrition and supplements and body care and the chemicals that are in our products that we try to eliminate little by little, because a little bit goes a long way. We try to eliminate a lot of those things in our home. So something that I have found, and we've been talking about happy pills. So I've been sharing happy pills along this journey. And I know Hannah has too, and there's been several others. So the main supplement, the main pill that we're going to be talking about tonight that has made the most difference on our mental wellness, I can speak for myself, is definitely Super B. So you want to switch to the next slide, Han? So I wanted to share these statistics with you because I think it's really important. I have them written down here. It's kind of small. I can barely read that on here. Sorry, you guys, if that is too small. But in 2016, the U.S. fertility fell to their lowest reproduction since the CDC started keeping records in 1909. 20 million women, American women, have thyroid disease. 60% of those women are even unaware that there's an issue. PCOS affects 1 in 10 women. 12 million women have clinical depression, which there's a direct link to vitamin B deficiencies and anxiety and depression. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this. Hysterectomies are the number 2 next to C-sections most widely performed surgeries among the reproductive age of women. So as we're going through tonight, these statistics are not to scare you. It's more just to show you that you are not alone. We are in this together, and we're not alone. I remember when I was first kind of started feeling the effects of anxiety. I had 3 little babies, 2 1 and newborn, and I was feeling a little overwhelmed and stressed, and anxiety started overcoming me. And I remember going to the doctor and just talking about how I was feeling, and he prescribed me a medication. And I asked him what the side effects are, and he said, "Oh, you'll be fine. The side effects are so small, like most people won't ever experience them." I took that same bottle of medication. I went home and I did some research, because I believe that you are empowered to do your own research, and we want to empower you to do that. Anytime that somebody hands you a medication, research it. Try to figure out, is there an alternative for you, and what are the side effects? Because side effects were really important to me. I remember going home, researching it. I found out that 1 out of every 4 women are on an antidepressant, and 1 out of every 2 women are considering getting on one. Then I looked up the side effects, and, it was like depression, and all I needed was something to just calm me down a little bit. But the side effects would be depression, suicide, suicidal thoughts. And I'm like, my goodness, like, I just need something to help me. I don't feel any of those now. I sure don't. I mean, I had 3 little babies. I don't want to get to that point. So I discovered in that moment that I was not alone, right? And I think that's the biggest thing, is we aren't alone in this journey. And so, next slide. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, I already said, B vitamins. So I'm going to pass the baton over to my amazing friend, Hannah, who is super knowledgeable about essential oils, and has a plethora of knowledge when it comes to supplements. So we're so excited to hear from you, Hannah.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here tonight. So, so this class really came about when Stacey was like, "Hey, what's the #1 product you use for mental wellness?" And I was like, "Super B." And she was like, "Me too." And so we started talking about it, and then diving into research and just sharing with each other some of the research we were finding about it, because we were kind of like, why does it help so much? Why is it so impactful? And because both of us immediately said, Super B is it for us. Like that's the one. And we have there's so many people on my team. I've been part of Young Living for 9 years and have a team of like thousands of people. And so many people are like, "Oh, I like swear by Super B. I take it every single day of my life. It makes such a difference. I would never go a day without it." So we started just researching, like, why is this? What makes it so amazing? Why does everybody need it? Why do we feel such an impact? And so the truth is, everybody needs B vitamins. Every body needs B vitamins. Okay. And everyone at this point, especially with our food supply in the United States, being so depleted in nutrition and so lacking in what we need, that everyone is depleted of B vitamins because your body doesn't produce them. I don't know if you realize this or not. I did not realize this until I have started researching like really good nutrition and supplementation and where like sources of that come from, that our body doesn't actually produce vitamins and minerals. I don't know why that was groundbreaking for me. Maybe it's not for you, but I think sometimes we, especially growing up as like children and like not really, there's in our society, there's just not good education on like how to take care of your body and what's required for like just basic normal function of your body. And so we're not told like you need to eat this many foods and these types of foods in order to make sure you're getting enough vitamins. And so we have to get them from food. And I think doctors and we all just kind of assume it works itself out, but we can't assume that anymore, because at this point, most Americans are depleted in vitamins because our food doesn't have enough. You would have to eat about 70 pounds of food, like real whole nutrient dense fruits, vegetables, and things that have vitamins and minerals in them in order to get the equivalent that you would have gotten 100 years ago from a normal amount of food, like around 2 to 3 pounds of food, I think, a day. You'd have to eat about 70 pounds of food a day in order to get the equivalent. That's how depleted our food supply is, you guys. And it's like not great, but thankfully we have good supplements available to us to help fill the gap, right? So your body doesn't produce B vitamins. We have to get them from food. Every B vitamin performs a unique and separate function in the body. This is so amazing. And for time's sake, I'm not going to list all of the functions because there's a lot of B vitamins, but you should research that because it's an amazing thing to look at. What does B12 do? What does B8 do? What does B1 do? All of them do something different. It's difficult to gain all the B vitamins we need from our food, even in the best case scenario. I just kind of talked about that because our food supply is so depleted. It's so contaminated. It's not a good situation. So we have to be conscientious of supplementing. B vitamin deficiency can be linked to anxious, exhausted, dark feelings and thoughts, also imbalanced hormones, a compromised cardiovascular system, a compromised immune system. Like it's a big deal to be deficient. And a lot of times we don't even think, am I deficient in a vitamin? Could that be what is causing me to have some of the problems that I'm having? In addition, this is so interesting. In the last, I'm going to say 20 to 30 years. I don't actually know the time frame, but it feels like it's been about that span since I have been hearing about it in my adult life, that more and more and more people have a gene mutation that seems to flip on, or they're born with it at some point in their life, that allows them, it does not allow them to absorb their B vitamins. So it's a methylation process. It's called MTHFR. If you have it, it's kind of important to know if you have it or not, because it can make such a difference in you absorbing nutrients from your food. And so people who have this gene mutation, raise your hand or leave in the comments. If you know that you have it, you can tell us about it in the comments. It's really interesting to hear some of the people's experiences, but they basically aren't able to methylate their B vitamins. And so when we take B vitamins in, especially in synthetic forms, for people who have that gene mutation, it's actually very toxic for them. And it can be dangerous in some instances for them to take B vitamins like folic acid, because that's a synthetic. And so synthetic B vitamins, which is also often what we find in our food, almost all of our bread has synthetic B vitamins added to it. So it has folic acid, synthetic methylcobalamin, all of those things. So those are the problem B vitamins that these people cannot absorb, and their bodies have a really hard time processing them. So they're extra deficient, and they also have to be really, really careful about how they get their B vitamins. Even in supplements, they have to make sure that it's a bioavailable methylated form of the B vitamins that they need to take. Okay, so this is where we bring our happy pills, right? Because Super B is a complex B vitamin that has all 8 essential energy producing B vitamins, plus some really amazing minerals that are also lacking in our diet. And all of these work together in synergy in Super B. That's why it's called Super B. Young Living doesn't ever just make a vitamin and leave it alone. They always find a way to super power it. And so they add really cool things. They do so much research and science about how can we make other things work together in synergy with this vitamin to make it work even better, even faster, even harder in the body, so that it's not wasted, so that we're combining more nutrients with it, so that it's getting to all the places that we need it to get better and more effectively. And I love that about Super B. So here's what it does, and here's why we love it. It supports heart and cognitive health. It aids in mood improvement and sustaining healthy energy levels. It is combined with nutmeg oil, which nutmeg oil is very, very powerful for the adrenals and the endocrine system and the thyroid. And so B vitamins are very important when you're trying to heal thyroid disease and really improve your thyroid function. Nutmeg oil is one of those. We always talk about reaching for Endoflex. It has nutmeg. You could use nutmeg by itself. Super B has nutmeg oil in it. And then it also has bioavailable chelated minerals such as magnesium, manganese, selenium, and zinc. And I think Stacey's going to talk a little bit about those specific minerals when she tells her story. And then probably the most important part, because of the MTHFR genetic mutation that so many people are struggling with these days, Super B contains a natural folate source derived from lemon peels. Okay. This is very important. It is a food-based source. People who have that gene mutation need to get their folate from food. And so having a food-based source of folate in Super B is extremely important. There's also that form of folate in the kids' vitamins that Young Living sells. I feel like that's an important side note, because a lot of children are having this gene mutation as well, and sometimes don't discover it until later in life, and it's causing problems early in life, and which is really sad. So natural folate, and then methylcobalamin, which is a more bioavailable source of B12. Those are the 2 big vitamins that often the gene mutation causes trouble with. So Young Living has made sure that they have really bioavailable, good food-based sources of those 2 vitamins in Super B, so that you can absorb it and it actually has a good effect for you instead of just being wasted. Okay, Stacey, go ahead and tell your story.
Oh, I wasn't unmuted. Hey, doesn't she do so good? She just says the hardest words, it just rolls off her tongue so easily. It's amazing to me. I love hearing Hannah speak, especially about really scientific words, because she just says it so well. So I actually noticed I'm a mom of 7 little kids, and who are ages 11 down, and I homeschool. I cook meals from scratch. I mean, there's just so many things that just tank my energy levels, I feel like. And it wasn't until I started using Super B consistently. So I see a lot of our team members saying, yeah, I use it, or I take one and I'm not very consistent, so I don't really know a difference. I don't see the difference. I didn't either. And then I started taking it. I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of people that take this and speak really highly of it. My doctor was telling me I need more B vitamins. And so I'm like, I need to just start taking more B vitamins regularly from Young Living, the Super B. And I started taking them. I was like, it was a challenge for myself. I started taking 2 a day, every single day. And I kid you not, after probably 3 or 4 days, I started noticing, wow, I actually do have more energy. Wow, I do have more alertness. Wow, I feel more focused through the day. And, I'm not so anxious feeling like, when the kids start screaming, because that's just what kids do sometimes, I didn't feel like I was feeling pressure, and so I just started noticing. And I'm telling you, when I don't take it, I definitely can feel and notice the difference. So why are we so depleted of B vitamins, you might ask? That's a really good question. One of the best ways to get B vitamins into our body, into our system, is whole grains. And I'm not talking about your flour that sits on the shelf for 5 years at a time, and then you pick it up, use it, make your own bread, right? I'm talking about whole grain wheat berries that you can get, and you can grind and mill yourself in your home and make your own bread. But who has time to do that, right? Like, this is not part of our culture. This is not part of our society. So back in the early 1900s, is it okay that I share this story, Hannah? Okay. Back in the early 1900s, something very, very critical happened to our food supply. And back in the early 1900s, it was very common to have a mill, a local mill, in every town, because not everybody milled their own wheat back then either. So they had a local mill, and you would go and get your own bread, or you would get your own flour that was freshly milled, and you would bring it to your home and you'd make your own bread, or you had fresh bread from the mill or the bakery. This is not common anymore because they found a way, the food industry found a way to make our flour shelf stable. And when they made it shelf stable, they actually pulled out the bran out of the bread. They pulled out the wheat germ. And in doing that, it pulled out all the B vitamins. So what used to supply our everyday B supplementation out of pure whole grain bread is no longer supplying that for us. It's not providing those B vitamins in our bodies anymore. And so it's a no wonder why we're walking around a stressed out, crazy, anxious mess all the time, because we're not getting those B vitamins. So this is why it's really important. Yes, you could grind your own wheat berries, make your own bread every day, make your own muffins every day. And honestly, I do that most days for my family and I, but I'm still lacking. There's still B vitamins that I still need on a regular basis. So this is why Super B is so powerful for our bodies and why we're lacking in them. So the power of magnesium. I actually had some ladies tell me that when they take their Super B, they feel like they're falling asleep midday. So the reason for that is because it has magnesium in it. If your body is sensitive to magnesium, then you're probably going to need to take the Super B at night. You're still going to get the effectiveness of the energy the next day. It's not going to keep you up at night because that magnesium will help you fall asleep. Okay. So that's an idea for you, is to take it. If you feel groggy through the day after taking Super B, it's probably because your body's sensitive to the magnesium. Your body cannot. So I want to hear, who is a bath taker with magnesium salts? Let's put up your hand or post in the comments below. Do you like to take magnesium baths? So I do too. So here's a little bit of tidbit information for you. If you are not taking selenium every day along with your magnesium bath salts, your body is not absorbing all that magnesium that you're trying to get in your body. You have to have selenium present in the body in order to absorb magnesium. So that's what I thought was so cool, that Super B does it right. Young Living did it right with adding selenium and magnesium as minerals into our Super B supplementation. So, and again, just an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. We say this all the time, and I feel like I have to say it on every call because it's so important. Health is simple, but it's just not always easy. We get caught up in our everyday habits, right? Make taking good supplementation a habit for you. A little bit goes a long way. We say that all the time. Health is simple, right? It's simple. It's like, wow, if I took my Super B, 2 pills of Super B every day, you're telling me that I'm going to feel good? right? Yes, I am. I promise you will, because I do. Like, I feel so strongly about this supplement that if you take it every single day, I really feel like you would feel so much better in your life. So, what is the next slide? Okay. So Hannah was doing such a great job talking about the methylated B formulation. So another thing that Young Living does so well is making sure that it is a good supplementation for people with the gene mutation, the MTHFR. So Bethany, the lady in blue, is my wonderful sister-in-law, and she has actually struggled for years. And if you have the MTHFR, you understand that fertility is an issue, and also even losing babies is an issue for that genetic mutation. So she ended up getting pregnant, actually using basil and clary sage is what she was using in order to help her get pregnant. Other supplements as well within Young Living, but those two oils, she said, helped her so much be able to get pregnant. After she got pregnant the first time, she ended up losing a baby, and she did this a few times. Then she ended up having two. You can see there's two babies. The ones in the blue are her biological birth children. So yay for good, healthy children. She's actually pregnant with her third. Before she got pregnant with this third baby, she was telling me that she was feeling tired all the time. And I told her, I said, you need to get on a good B supplementation. She said, I am on a good B supplementation. She was working with her doctor who understands her genetic mutation, had her on these incredibly rated B vitamins. And she said, okay, well, I didn't realize that Young Living had a methylated B vitamin. So she switched to Super B, and she said she could not believe the difference from this really incredibly rated B vitamin that her doctor was giving her to just switching over to Super B. So I'm just so happy that Bethany was able to find something that works for her and give her really good energy. Okay, so the next slide. So these are, man, I can't even read that. Can you read that? Sorry, you guys, that's like so small. But these are some real life testimonies of people. I mean, we just have testimonies rolling in constantly about this supplement, so Super Me, my friend, just walked in my door and literally requested this. She was dragging from pregnancy insomnia, and it definitely helped. So Cassidy, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And then Renee Brown, you guys, she is 74 years young, she says, and she takes 1 or 2 Super B daily. She used to take other B vitamin sources. These are the best ever. Isn't that amazing? And then we also have Trish Hunter. She's been taking it for several years now, being in her 50s. She realized that she needed that extra energy. So super awesome. Okay, next slide.
Okay.
All right, back to Hannah.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So I have taken Super B off and on like for the last several years, but it's never been a super consistent thing until Stacy talked to me at the beginning of August and was like, hey, we had the whole conversation about what makes the most difference for you. And so when we had that conversation, I was like, why do I not take these every single day, 2 a day, like the bottle says? And also that kind of coincided with me doing some research about nutrition and things like that, that led me to see that I had no idea that having pregnancies depleted your body's vitamin and mineral stores like tremendously. And so most pregnant women, it takes 3 to 4 years for you to recover from a pregnancy as far as getting your nutritional stores back up in your body. Baby takes what baby needs from your body. And often moms are not doing double the nutrition, even though we're taking a prenatal and we're trying to eat well and all those things. But there's still not, I honestly think moms should be told to eat more, take more vitamins than they're told, because it's just baseline enough to take care of you. But the baby takes almost everything. And so mothers exit pregnancy. No wonder postpartum is such a wild time, right? You guys, like, we exit pregnancy not only with like crazy hormone giant fluctuations that make us feel like really wild, but we're depleted nutritionally. And then often we're super hungry when we're breastfeeding. That should be a sign to us, right? That like we need to recover nutritionally, but we're just not told this. And I feel like now that more and more of that research is coming out, and thankfully, like people have been studying nutrition and pregnancy and postpartum and all of those things. So I'm so thankful for how natural health evolves and people learn more and learn how to do better. But I was just thinking about how like I had 2 pregnancies and breastfed 2 children over a 4 or 5 year period of time. And I never like over supplemented, and I never knew that I needed to, double up when I was feeling stressed, or like, I really need to work on getting my nutritional stores back into a healthy place. And so I've been working on doing that, but I was taking so many different vitamins, and I was like, I just don't know that I can be consistent with all of these all of the time. It just feels like a lot. So I really pared it down, and I was like, I'm going to take Super B. I'm going to take my Ningxia Red. I'm going to take a fish oil supplement, and I'm going to take vitamin C because I'm obsessed with vitamin C. We should do a whole other class about that because I could talk for hours about vitamin C. So I just pared it down and was going to keep it really simple for August. Okay. So I was starting that, and I'm like, I'm going to do it every single day. August turned out to be pretty much the most stressful month of my entire life that I've had so far as an adult. So I had no idea. I really was like the provision of the Lord that Stacey and I had that conversation, and that I was already very committed to like being very consistent in things for my health. I was tracking what I was eating, making sure I was getting enough nutrition, drinking water, getting sleep, reducing stress, and also taking vitamins. So I'm not going to say it was like any one magical thing. It was really just a commitment to doing the simple things that aren't always easy, like we talked about. And so I was very committed to taking those vitamins, and every day it was like something new stressful happened. It was just like a roller coaster, right? And so I added cortisol about halfway through the month because I was just feeling those cortisol spikes throughout the day. And, having a hard time sleeping and then waking up super early. And I was like, I feel like I need some extra help with stress. So I added cortisol about halfway through the month, and I was already feeling pretty energetic and great with Super B. But that combination, I swear, helped me stay emotionally grounded, stable, feel balanced. I was not like flying off the handle emotionally. Sometimes I have a hard time regulating my emotions. And so, but I was feeling very emotionally regulated. I was feeling very balanced. And honestly, I attribute both Super B and Cortistop, taking those consistently. It was so amazing to me. And I could even take a step back a little bit and be like, I feel like I am handling life better than I usually would, given all of the other things that are going on. And it was just amazing. And to see the instant or almost instant energy increase that Super B allows me. So when in the mornings, I'm not a morning person. And so taking my Super B in the mornings with my breakfast, I would just notice like, I'm not as agitated. I'm not having a hard time going through the day. I feel motivated. A few minutes after taking it, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like, where's my to-do list? I've got energy to do the things. I have stamina to do the things. I have motivation to do the things. And that's not usually how I am in periods of stress. I'm usually kind of like, okay, let's like lay low and not do anything. But I really just felt so emotionally grounded. And just like I was able to handle that. And I was so excited to have that kind of a solution, just being committed to taking B vitamins that help me emotionally. And then digging into all of this research about B vitamins, it was like, oh, hello, like that was the perfect thing for me to be taking during times of stress. So Abby, yes, cortisol is a specific stress supplement. It actually helps to reduce, like suck away the cortisol that's being produced in your body. And so in the times of high stress, if you can identify it, you can take cortisol during those times of stress. Sometimes people don't know about cortisol while they're stressed and they've come out of a season of stress. And so there's still probably excess cortisol in your body. And so you can take that afterwards out of a season of stress to help you just deal with the effects. Stress can have really, really negative effects even after the stressful period has ended, and our bodies store trauma inside, even no matter what kind of trauma it is. And so if you have had that experience, you should think about cortisol for a season. It's not a long-term supplement, not something that you would take every day, just for those periods of high stress or coming out of it. And so for taking our happy pills, for taking Super B every day, you take 2 every day for maintenance. You can choose when you feel best taking that. Like Stacey said, if you feel tired afterwards, then you can take them at night. Usually people get a great boost of energy from them. So I like to take mine in the morning. Some people take them in the afternoon. You kind of have to play around and find your magic time. Sometimes if you take them too late in the day, they'll make you like jazzed all the way up past bedtime. And that's not something always that you want. And then you can double up during times of stress. So during my month of stress in August, I also learned that 1 week of stress can deplete your vitamin and mineral stores in your bodies by 30 to 40%. And so you need to double up on all of your vitamins during times of stress. I think sometimes we're a little bit scared to take like extra vitamins, but really like it's pretty hard to overdose on vitamins, and doubling up is not going to get you there. Like you would have to be basically trying to overdose yourself on vitamins for it to get to a dangerous level. Doubling up is not a problem, especially if you've been in a season of stress.
Yeah. And can I share that
Yeah.
magnesium is actually the first mineral that gets
Yes.
depleted from your body too.
That's right. Yeah. And that's why Super B is so great to take, because it's pairing it with those types of minerals that also get depleted. So pair with Cortistop if you are under a lot of stress or coming out of a season of stress. I take Thyromin every night to support my thyroid health. It makes such a huge difference for me in the way that I wake up in the mornings. Again, not a morning person, divulging lots of things about myself here, but I struggle to wake up in the mornings. I just am not. I would like to sleep an extra 2 hours, but I have a family, right? So, and we never get enough as moms. And so I notice when I take Thyromin that when I wake up in the morning, I don't have like the brain fog and the bleary-eyed feeling for like an hour like I used to. I can wake up, be with my family, get to doing what I need to be doing, and not have that like long ramp up time into the day. When I don't take it, that is exactly how I feel in the morning. So that's a sign of thyroid function. And so I take Thyromin at night if you need that extra support. And then you can combine Super C and Super D with your Super B to get the trifecta, is what I have called it. Stacey, do you want me to talk about this, or do you want to talk about this? Okay.
Yeah, you go for it.
Okay, so this is what I call the Happy Pills trifecta because it's all three of Young Living's super vitamins. Okay.
But I have to say, I do take these every day, all of these every single day.
Me too. So these are what I was very committed to taking every day in August already, plus our fish oil, and then Ningxia Red. So these were, I paired it down to just these three. And these, again, I said Young Living doesn't just take a vitamin and make it like, leave it alone and make it normal. They superpower it. And so Super B is what we've talked about tonight. Super C is also an excellent food-based bioavailable form of vitamin C, not the fake ascorbic acid shell of vitamin C. It's actually from food. Vitamin D, same story, is an amazing vitamin D supplement that is infused with oils like Melissa, which is amazing for like anxiety and like helping to combat viruses and things like that in your body. So the fact that they power up these oils, or these vitamins with these amazing oils, is just icing on the cake for me. And I love taking these every single day so that you're getting proper amounts. Again, you can double these up if you're under periods of stress or you're coming out of a season where you know you've been really depleted nutritionally, like pregnancy, postpartum, all of those things. Okay, so let's talk about how to get Happy Pills. Here is the best part about Super B is that they are $22.75. Like you can pay twice that much for not good B vitamins on Amazon tonight, but you can get them from Young Living, knowing that they're sourced with the seed to seal guarantee, knowing that they have really good sourcing for all of their forms of vitamin B, all of their minerals, and all of the oils that are in all of these supplements. So go to youngliving.com, search for Super B. That'll pop up the product. You can click on the product page, and then you're going to want to create a loyalty order. If you're not a customer yet, it will say create loyalty order. If you're already a customer, then it'll say add to loyalty order. Okay. But if you've never ordered before, create loyalty order, and that's will unlock the $22.75 price for you. You don't have to add anything else to your cart, or you can add whatever you want. So you can add the trifecta, you can add Cortistop, you could add anything else, any oils or anything that you want to your loyalty order. And if you get to that $50 mark on your loyalty order, that will give you 10% back in points on that order. That's like a gift card that you get to use for free stuff. So you can let those points accrue on your account and then cash them in for free stuff in the future, which is one of my favorite parts about it. And then you'll want to create an account with Young Living. So you'll fill in your account information. Make sure that you ask the person who invited you to the class tonight or who told you about Happy Pills for their ID number so that you can put that into the sponsor ID and enroller ID section that I have circled on this slide. Okay, so enter that number into that section. Then you'll continue, choose your processing date and your payment method, save all of that for your loyalty order, and you can check out, and then you're done. And you've got Happy Pills headed to your house. And you can decide what you get every month. You don't have to get the same things every month, or you can just set it and forget it and let Super B be delivered once a month on a auto ship basis, and it will just process on the same date every month and ship to you so that you never run out and you always have it available for you. So that's how to get them. If you're already an Young Living customer, then you'll just log into your account, add Super B to your loyalty order, and just like usual, check out as usual, or place a one-time order, and you can get them that way as well. Okay, Stacey, you have anything else you want to add?
No, but I just think it's funny that Deborah and I literally said the same thing in the chat thread just
good.
now. So a lot of people ask, like, when I take B vitamins or C vitamins, I pee neon yellow. That's typically because your body is absorbing what it needs and then kind of releasing the rest. So if your body is doing that, if you're peeing neon yellow a lot after you take 2 vitamin Bs or 2 vitamin Cs, maybe you might want to disperse them through the day. So take 1 vitamin B in the morning and the other vitamin B at night, just to kind of disperse it so your body is absorbing all of it. So just kind of thought. But I definitely agree with doubling up on vitamins. Vitamin C, I noticed this time of year, especially when a lot of people are getting sick, I like to take the double recommendation amount just to kind of help my body. And my kids love, you guys, like I do the vitamin C chewables. Is that what you take, Hannah?
Yes.
So the vitamin C chewables is void of ascorbic acid, and that's really important when you're getting your vitamin C. I know Hannah said we need to do a class strictly on vitamin C because it is so powerful for your endocrine system, your skin, healing skin. Anytime we get like poison ivy or some kind of skin reaction or even eczema, when you take vitamin C, it can actually help speed up your healing time. It's just incredible. Vitamins are incredible in general. I just love them so much. So good for your hormones. So, all right. Any more questions? I think we have a few minutes for questions. If you guys have a couple questions, we can answer them. We did great on time, Pam.
Yay, good.
Okay. What happens with vitamin C and aspirin? That's a really good question. Did you say something about that, Han, that I missed?
Deborah said don't take vitamin C and aspirin at the same time.
Oh, I missed that.
I don't actually know the reason now. I'm going to have to go research that.
Yeah, I'm going to research that. I recommend researching it. I have no idea. Deborah, if you want to clarify that, you can, but I've never heard that either. Vitamin C is especially good to heal bruises. Yes, Deb, definitely. Anything skin related, healing the body from the inside out. It is super powerful. Yeah. And here's a little food tip for you. Red peppers actually have the highest amount of vitamin C, even higher than oranges. So start loading up on red peppers. We eat red peppers all the time. It's really, really good for you. So there's a little food recommendation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, all right. If there's no more questions, I guess we can hop off here.
Yeah.
You guys,
thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Oil up and stay awesome. And let us know how the Super Bee is helping you guys. So have a good night.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.